As usual, my name is Dr. Ibrahim Gobir, representing Sokoto East. The report of this committee is a little bit bulky, but the intention is then after giving the background, we just go into observation and the findings and the recommendations, because I believe this is going to make it a little bit shorter. With the permission of His Excellency and the Senate, can I do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
During the course of the investigation, we went around with the members of the committee in German House to condole with the people there of the individuals within that area. Then after that, we interacted with the stakeholders and the community in that area, and we moved to Lagos. In Lagos, we were with the governor, we condoled with him, and the unfortunate incident, after which, of course, we went around to see the scene of the incident. And we were able to see for ourselves actually what happened. It was very pathetic. And it's unfortunate that thing happened that way. But if you open page 25, you will see the observations and the findings. Then from there we go to the recommendations. Item number 7. From the meetings, investigations, and interactive sessions held with the state government of Rivers and all the other stakeholders, the ad hoc committee observed as follows. 1, that there exists system 2E and 2EX, parallel pipelines that are used to pump petroleum products from River State through Aba and up to Makati. 2, that there exists system 2B pipeline that transport petroleum products from Atlas Corp to Ejebo Satellite Depot down to Masumi Area Depot in Ogun State. 3, the Oil Pipelines Act 2004 clearly defined the total route of pipelines, indicating the width of right-of-way, prohibits encroachment of pipeline right-of-way by unauthorized persons. 4, that bundles and saboteurs often tamper with the pipelines to siphon petroleum products for personal gains. 6, that people living close to the pipeline right-of-way, out of poverty, do go to scoop petroleum products from such leakages. 7, that River State explosion occurred on vandalized system 2 East and 2EX pipelines on Saturday, 22nd June and 22nd June 2019. 8, that the Lagos State explosion occurred on vandalized system 2B pipeline in the early hours of 4th July 2019. That one occurred in June and this one in July. 9, that most of the pipelines are aged and need replacement. 10, that the incidences in Rivers and Lagos states were avoidable if the NNPC/NPSC and the contractors maintaining and monitoring the pipelines were duty proactive. 11, that both NNPC and the NPSC and the UTM contractors were aware of the Komkom pipeline leakage 2 days before the explosion, but delayed in taking necessary action. 12, that both the NNPC and the NPSC and the oil SARB contractor were aware of the intended activity of the bundles and the leakage a week and a day respectively before the Ijegun explosion, but delayed in taking necessary action. That the security personnel in connivance with the NPSC staff collaborated with the bundles to siphon petroleum products from the pipelines. 14, that there is a contributory negligence on the part of the NNPC and the contractors. 15, that the point of leakage that led to the explosion were few meters from the security posts. 16, that the Ogun shot, the gun shot by the police officer who wanted to scare villagers away and the carry already scooped products by the villagers ignited the explosion and the consequent outbreak in the Komkom River State incident. That the fire outbreak in Ijegun was a result of a distant and intentional spark due to the flow of petroleum products through the slopy drainages along the streets of Ijegun. 18, that lives and properties worth millions of naira were lost in both the Rivers and Lagos States incidences. 19, that up to the time of the visit by the ad hoc committee, no relief materials or any form of assistance were given to the victims, those who would destroy properties situated outside the right-of-way and the communities involved in the damaged vegetation or environment by the NNPC and the MPSC or the contractor. Nobody wants. 20, that neither the NNPC NPSC nor the contractors have attempted to clean up or remediate the contaminated environment for the safety of inhabitants of the pipeline host communities. 21, that the UTM contractor is not well mobilized by NNPC, that is NPSC, to enable them purchase modern equipment for proper monitoring of the pipelines, as they only employ manual monitoring system. That OSAP, the supposedly appointed security and maintenance contractor for the pipeline in the Lagos axis, have not been properly engaged by the NNPC because the agreement has not been signed. That there is no formal contractual document agreement between OSAP and the NPSC. 24. The OSAP, since the period it was engaged through a letter of comfort by NPSC, has not been paid for services rendered. Hence, the ineffectiveness of the company to adequately provide security on the pipelines. 25. That the claim by NPSC of spending 383,203,550 naira, 50 kobo, 54 kobo, only on firefighting operation in Komkom is very outrageous and unfounded. That Article 3.1.12 of the contract agreement between NNPC and the UTM Offshore Limited stated that the contractor would provide asset protection and security services to ensure avoidance or prevention of undesirable acts, including but not limited to 1. Unauthorized intrusion, B. willful damage, C. right-of-way encroachment, D. crude oil product theft, E. illegal refining, F. petroleum products tapping, G. pipeline vandalism. So 27, Article 3.2 of same agreement stated that the contractor, in the event of product loss due to vandalism of pipeline and undesirable acts specified in paragraph 3.1.12 above, NNPC shall deduct from the product invoice, from the contractor's invoice, an amount equal to the established value of any product loss above the allowable contract tolerance for any pipeline operation period. That the Act established in NOSDRA only provides for penalties and offenders, but does not provide enforcement of the penalties. 29. That the pipeline host communities are not properly engaged in pipeline monitoring and security against activities from partners. I think those are the observations We now go to the recommendations. The ad hoc committee, after exhaustive deliberation on submissions made by stakeholders and the first-hand information obtained at the on-spot assessment of the scenes of the incidences in both Komkom and Ijegun, recommends as follows. 1. That the Senate do urge NEMA to immediately send relief materials to the fire incident victims of both communities, Komkom and Ijegun, to alleviate their pains. 2. That the Nigerian Pipelines and Storage Company, a subsidiary of Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC, should without further delay carry out proper assessment of the contaminated environments for immediate cleanup and remediation. 3. That the Nigerian Pipelines and Storage Company Limited, a subsidiary of NNPC, and the contractors should carry out proper survey of the impact of the fire incidences on the communities, determine the actual number of recorded deaths, and pay adequate compensation to all victims and the affected communities. 4. That the NNPC should, without further delay, embark on horizontal directional drilling, HDD, in relaying pipelines, especially in identified hotspots where erosion has exposed the pipelines to surface so as to conceal them from vandals and as earlier advised by Lagos State Government. That NNPC should involve the members of the host communities in the pipeline surveillance within their various areas as an interim preventive measure. We go to instruction. That NNPC, that's number 6. NNPC should, as a matter of urgency, install pressure monitoring devices and shut-off valves at close intervals on all petroleum product pipelines across the country. 7. That NNPC should reevaluate their security, and monitoring outfits on the pipeline routes across the country. Number 8. NNPC should immediately evoke Article 3.2 of the contract agreement entered with UTM Offshore Limited to issue a query to the company and provide evidence of compliance to the committee on downstream petroleum sector. 9. That NNPC should immediately formalize its contract agreement with Oil SAP on pipeline surveillance and provide evidence of compliance to the Committee on Downstream Petroleum Sector. 10. That NNPC should start the process of deploying modern technology in pipeline surveillance and detection of leakages, as well as introduce cathodic protection on the pipelines. 11. That NNPC should refund the outraged sum of 382,203,055 naira, 74 kobo, only it claimed to have used in firefighting operation in Komkom, and provide evidence of compliance to the Committee on Downstream. 12. That NNPC should carry out proper check on all petroleum product pipelines across the country to ascertain their status for either repairs or total replacement. 8. That the governments of Rivers and Lagos State, as well as pipeline host community leaders, should sensitize all occupants of the pipeline right-of-way to vacate the right-of-ways to avoid accidents. Number 14, that pipeline owners, NNPC, should liaise with the state governments to vacate all occupants of the pipeline right-of-way, and that, as a matter of urgency, the NOSDRA Act should be amended to address current realities in the petroleum sector. Conclusion. The ad hoc committee appreciates the Senate leadership and the entire Senate for the opportunity to serve in this capacity. It is the sincere hope of the ad hoc committee that the Senate would approve the recommendations to avert future occurrences of this ugly incident. Thank you very much, Your Excellency and Mr. Commissioner.